Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a beat for the Kid Laroi for his new upcoming album called Love. You know, it's going to drop tonight actually, so I'm just going to show you guys how to make a beat like the singles he's already dropped and what I kind of think the album is going to sound like. And shout out Omar Fetty, he actually works with Kid Laroi a lot and he produced Go. That song goes crazy. But yeah, before we get started, make sure to go follow me on social media as always at unreleased. Tap in with me, but let's get it. So yeah, first thing, my BPM is at 135 because usually his songs are kind of in the mid tempo. They're not too fast but not too slow, kind of like up tempo. First thing I started with is actually this Serum preset, kind of like a pluck, and I put these chords down, and let me just break down the chord progression. My CPU is going to be tweaking because of Serum, so I'm sorry about that, but the chords go from C minor 7 to A flat major to E flat major 7 and then G minor. But yeah, let me just show you guys the chord progression. So the key to kind of making these atmospheric, you know, peaceful chord progressions is just to like pick main chords and then kind of do like top melodies on top of it, just kind of like add color notes. And by the way, if you don't know how to do that, I actually have a video on that. I'll link it right now if you guys want to check it out. It just like makes your chord progressions way better because it like spices it up, you know, sauce it up. But yeah, so that's the pattern, and I actually rendered it out because my CPU is tweaking. So then I layered this synth line on top of the piano chords, and basically I played the second of the scale, and then the third, and then the seventh, and I kind of arpeggiated like this. And the thing about like color notes is like the seventh is like a really good color note in the scale. Yeah, that's the thing. Also, like the seventh works with any chord you play, so like you just want to kind of find a note that sounds good with any chord and just do a little like melody just to add like some sauce on top. I usually arrange my beats in like more of a vertical way, so I muted this and I put a guitar part. And that's like really atmospheric. As you can tell, it's like just an electric guitar that I just kind of sidechained to make it like gate like that, and a lot of reverb and stuff because I already have the main pluck pattern kind of holding down the melody, the chords, so I just needed this to kind of like add like a little texture, a little soundscape. You know, you kind of want to think of it like this. You have like a bass layer that holds down the rhythm and the chords, and then you can add like textures on top of that. So this is definitely a cool texture that I added. And then next I added this mallet, and I actually played like a similar arpeggiated kind of thing, and I included the second, the third, the seventh, and the fifth. And if I play this, this is a cool sequence of notes that you can really use in a lot of your beats. It goes like this. It works well with any chord. That's why I like to, you know, use those sequence of notes. And the kind of beats the Kid Laroi usually hops on, they're really like smooth and they have a lot of movement to it. It's not just like one pattern that keeps going. It has a lot of like different sections that kind of build. You know, the song Go, for example, as I already mentioned, like Omar Fetty did a really good job at making the melodies like, you know, move and transform. So next, the most important part I feel like is this piano that I layered on top of the main pluck. And I actually low passed my plucks, so I basically EQ'd out the top end of the pluck to make the piano sit there more nicely, and this is the piano layer. And the thing with this, it looks pretty complicated, but it's actually simple because I played the chords on the bottom over here just like this. Damn, why is it doing that? But yeah, anyways, I played the chords like that, and then on top I did the same thing that I told you guys in the previous patterns with, it's basically the third and then the seventh. So you want to use your seventh a lot in the scale if you want to have like a really emotional melody, and this is basically what you can do with that. Like You know, it's a really good note that works well with any chord, so that's why I did that. And for a Laroi kind of beat, you want there to be a lot of movement because his flow really goes deep into the beat. So I feel like the beat has to, like, the melodies of the beat have to be like really defined for him to kind of find a flow on it. So then next I started on the drums, and let me just play you guys the clap and 808 patterns. You know, it's pretty simple. I didn't do any crazy like things with the 808. It's just kind of like a cool short 808 that I used. And yeah, if you want any of these sounds, they're actually from my drum kit that I dropped. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in checking it out. But then I did the hi-hats, and with this, like, you kind of want it to be really bouncy. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it's, again, really bouncy and just kind of flows well with the rest of the patterns. You know, you got to make sure you do your hi-hat rolls in like appropriate spaces and don't overdo them, and like leave kind of pockets sometimes. Like over here, I took out some notes, just kind of let it breathe sometimes. And then next I put the snare. You want to build the groove of the beat slowly by layering different things instead of making one pattern go crazy. You know, I could have like literally made the snare do a bunch of more shit, like, you know, that kind of stuff, but I just took it out because you want to let the rapper like flow on it. You can't just like overdo it, you know. And then open hat. So yeah, as you can see, the open hat pattern is like really repeating. It's the same. That's okay for some patterns because you want it to be at least like predictable in some ways. So then I put a second open hat. Then I just layered that. Then I just layered my 808 with a kick. You know, just make it hit on some notes that the 808 also hits on, but don't like overdo it. And then next I put like some perks down, and probably the Robert perk is probably my favorite for my kit. It's like super in the background, and then the other perk is this. It's a really cool like kind of sound. And then that's pretty much all the drums. And then I actually replaced the 808 in some sections with a sub. And this is what that sounds like. You know, it definitely feels good when the 808 is not there, and the sub can kind of make it more smooth. So this is good for transition sections to kind of make it flow better. So yeah, that's pretty much all the parts. Now let me show you guys the arrangement that I actually did with that. You know, I started with my chords and like my synth. And then it transitions, and I put the chords in my low pass filter over here. That's what this automation is. And then I put the guitar and piano and clap and stuff. And so this is kind of like an intro section still, but I just introduced some stuff to kind of build it up more. And then my sub over here. So as you can see, like the sub is good for like intros and like outros and like pre-chorus sections to kind of build it up for the 808, and you know, just do some slight automation to kind of make it transition more smoothly, and you know, make your drums patterns kind of like come in slowly. You know, I kind of build it up like this, and then over here take them out and like leave some things. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole arrangement. You know, as you can see, there's nothing crazy going on, but it sounds like really full when you play it all together. I didn't use too many patterns all at once. Like, you know, I used probably 3 patterns at most. So I used this, and then over here it's 3 things playing, over here it's 3 things playing. But then this mallet, for example, only comes in at the first part of the verse, so it's okay to have some elements that only come in like for the first part of the verse and don't like repeat again. But yeah, that's pretty much how I made this whole beat. And yeah, I'm about to play you guys the final beat, but if you guys enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful, please give it a like and comment below what you thought of it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.